Hey, it's Friday the 13th, and we're talking about geeky superstitions and rituals up next on Geek Out SA.
And how come I'm watching us on here and my thing was, wait, what happened? What did we do?
And welcome back to Geek Out SA. It's Friday and we're having fun.
Ooh,
and that's what I was
honey.
talking about, that we needed to switch around. What?
Wait, what happened?
I don't know.
Like you were all pixelated and then...
It's probably just the connection
Okay.
that you have.
Okay. And then I was like fixing
It's
my
Friday
pants.
and we're having
Hi,
fun.
Friday,
so
Friday.
we're here.
We're always having fun.
Yeah.
Fun with fun things.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
No, what happens when you start and you're testing stuff and you don't go through the intro the entire way? You have to either push it through or.
So that's why you only got like 2 seconds.
That's why we got 2 seconds of it.
Well, that's okay. It's not like we're the only ones, because I was watching a local news station this morning, and not only did they have problems with their sound, but they also had problems with their camera on 2 different occasions. Once was like with the traffic people, and then once was like with somebody that they went to live somewhere else. So it's not like just like YouTubers have problems. Like it just happens sometimes. So whatever.
So we have Lennon's Kitchen says, hey guys, and we have Crispy Critter says, hey bro. Hey guys, how's it going? And Black and Silver Diamond says, sup.
Black and Silver Diamond back in the house again.
So we are talking about geeky superstitions and rituals.
Because it's totally Friday the 13th.
Because it's totally Friday the 13th.
And a full moon.
Yeah, and a full moon too.
And I'm a teacher, so... And I survived.
Yeah.
Barely, but I'm here.
You know, bad stuff happened today for me.
Really?
Or not really great stuff happened.
Like, not really
It wasn't
great
like
stuff?
a great day.
I mean, my students were a little cray-cray. I'm not going to lie. They were kind of a little off their rockers, and they were a little like...
Hey, Adam, thanks for watching.
Hi, Adam. But I don't know, like nobody was walking under ladders or breaking mirrors or any of that normal superstition stuff.
No.
Although, you know, some of my kids, because they think they're funny, did have like stuffed black cats and stuff that they were throwing in front of people. So,
Wow.
You know, sometimes you're a kid and you think you're funny.
So, superstitions. So, geeky superstitions. I'm going to say a lot of the superstitions the geeky superstitions happen around tabletop games.
Well, the ones that I'm most familiar with.
Well, the ones, yeah, I mean, the majority of people are most familiar are in the geeky world about dice.
Well, yeah, I was going to say it's not just tabletop games, but it's actually predominantly role-playing games.
Yeah.
So it's not just like if you're playing Monopoly or something, but it's like when you're playing that role-playing game and you're that character and you're trying to keep your character alive in the game.
I would switch out dice on Monopoly.
Shut your mouth. Nobody does that.
I did that.
I've never seen anybody do it with a board game. You're the first I've ever heard of.
No, I've done it with board games all the time.
Like, we all had superstitions about our role-playing game dice. And people that don't play role-playing games, they may not even realize how many superstitions we have or, like, what all the things are that we do. Like,
So, Crispy Critter says, I swear on the lives of my daughters, we have a lady mannequin in the basement for tailoring stuff, and every time I walk past her, I say, hi, baby, because I don't want her to kill me in my dreams.
That's funny because there's a certain electronic device in our house that listens to us all the time, and I won't say her name because then she'll
Adam says,
peek up.
awesome shirt, Colleen.
Thanks, Adam. And I'm afraid I've watched too many like AI type movies and stuff, so I'm like real mean to her and stuff, and then I feel like she's gonna try to kill me. So then I'll like say something nice and tell her she did a good job or whatever, because I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. You have to tell these inanimate objects like good job, because they will try to kill you. I'm not kidding. But yeah, so dice superstitions. Okay, so I have one. I have one that I'm really, really bad about. So I have a special set of dice. That's the set of dice that I play with. They're the ones that roll right for me, okay? They have their own special bag. Like, that can't be touching other dice. And other people cannot be touching the dice. Like, if you touch my special dice, they're not special anymore. They're done. They've been ruined. You've killed them. Like, I might as well rub an egg on them or something to try to cleanse them because they are dead to me once you have touched them. And they just can't be touching other dice.
Do a little smudging.
The little dice is going to get their, like, bad mojo on them. Like, you can't. And I know I'm not alone in this. Like, there are people. Right? Right? Yeah. Yes. No, you don't know, Stuart, because you don't play tabletop games. But there you have...
I know it. I know all the...
Okay.
Just roll the goddamn dice. It doesn't really matter. It's a random thing. Don't need to leave the lowest numbers on face down so you don't...
No,
yes,
that's...
You
I mean,
do.
that's a thing.
Yes, you do. You do. You can't even look at it.
Well, depending on the game you're playing.
Right, because sometimes you might want to roll low. So it depends.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to roll low, then you have to keep the high ones down. And if you want to roll high, then you have to keep the low ones down.
Or another big one is, it's two ways. If you're rolling good and you're just don't like keep rolling your dice when you're like waiting to go your turn.
Oh yeah, no,
because
you can't
they'll
do
lose
that.
out.
Yeah, you'll lose all the good mojo. Yeah, because you've used it all up.
Or before the game, you roll out all the bad rolls before you start.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
And then you can't, like, if you have a game like D&D or something where you have to use, like, D20s for several different things, like, you have to have different D20s for the different things that you do. You can't mix them up because then you'll mess up the roll and then the dice won't know what they're supposed to roll because you've confused them.
Well, like, when I'm GMing, I have a specific red die.
I've seen everything. I've seen people physically destroy dice, but when they destroyed the dice, they lined up all their other dice so all the good dice could see the bad dice being destroyed. And it was like, see what happens when you don't roll good? You get destroyed.
That's right. I've seen that too. I have seen that too.
My buddy Steve says, I play with 2 sets of dice for D&D, and it's like whenever I have to use a 2d6, I roll natural ones from then on out.
Nice.
So, I hate when that happens.
Yeah. No, and then you have to talk to your dice too, and you have to, like, encourage them, and you have to tell them, like, yes, you do.
No, I don't talk to my dice.
No, you have to talk to your dice. If you don't treat them good and talk to them... Okay, you're telling me that you don't talk to your car? Like, when you feel like it's getting ready to, like, you know, it's kind of shaky, and you're like, come on, you can be a good girl. It's okay. You can make it. You can make it.
No.
You do.
I don't talk to my car.
No, you have to.
You talk to Alexa in the car.
I talk to Alexa, but I talk to Alexa, not the car.
Your car has a name. That's a geeky superstition. How many geeks do we know that can't drive their cars until they're naming them? And they can't get rid of them because they're named and they love them. That's a geek superstition. Exactly. Can't drive my car because my car doesn't have a name.
Crispy Critter says, the first roll of the game seems to set the pace for the game. I feel like that happens all the time.
Yes, thank you. See, people out there do understand us. Good. I'm not alone. I am not alone. I know people who don't play role-playing games probably think that we're all nuts. But it does make a difference. Like, it matters. I don't know how to explain it, but it matters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But I think as geeks, we're maybe more susceptible to this type of stuff. Like, maybe we've read too much stuff, and we've watched too much stuff, and we've played too many games. Like, I don't know.
Like, if your dice fall off the table, that's bad juju for your dice.
Okay, so I have another one, too.
Okay.
This one sounds really stupid. Okay. I can't even say it out loud. Okay. You can't even think in your head like a number that's not going to help you succeed. Like, whatever, like, let's say I needed like a 16 or something to make this check. The whole time I'm going to be thinking 16, 16, 16 because I'm trying to communicate to my die so that my die know that that's what I need is the 16. And if I don't have good telepathic waves with my die, I have to use a different one. It has to go away. No?
Switch out the dice.
Well, it has to read my mind. It has to be able to catch my telepathy.
Well, there was a set of dice that was that I used to use all the time. I don't use them anymore. It's the glow in the dark alien dice.
You did.
I
You
used to
use
use
those
them
all the time.
and then they started rolling bad for me, and I stopped using them. Because every time I used them, I started rolling bad. When I first started, they were rolling fine,
Yeah.
average, and then they started getting bad for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't either. Do you think that geeks have like these regular superstitions? Like, I don't find that too many geeks are like afraid of a black cat. Do you know a lot of like geeky friends that are long teacher week?
So there's a lot of lag. I don't see it on here.
Maybe it's just me.
Oh.
Maybe it's Friday the 13th and it's full moon.
Yeah.
You touched the panel before I did.
Maybe.
It's all Vince's fault.
So, where were we going with that?
Black cats?
Black cats. So, that's a big thing that a lot of GMs use, or dungeon masters use, is they'll put a black cat in there, kind of signifying that something bad's going to happen, to kind of like hint at something. So that's something that we use as a superstition within game to kind of help out players. But that's something that we do.
Thinking of that, isn't it a black cat that he sees twice in the Matrix?
It is.
Right?
It's the same
Right?
black cat.
The same black cat, and he's
Yeah.
like, that's strange. And that's like when he finds out that the deja vu means that like something's wrong with the Matrix. That's interesting that we use that like that.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't think about it until we were thinking about this show, and then I thought, oh. Because I think I'm used to a lot in like the things that I read and a lot of the games that I've used. You know, we have like witches or warlocks or things like that, and the black cats tend to be their familiars. And sometimes people will get them on purpose as an agitator. You know what I mean? Like, my black cat's going to agitate you.
We have never let the machine win. Says, greetings all. Greetings. How's it going?
The machine's going to try to eat our brains. I swear it is. I'm waiting. That's why I'm nice to the machines. See, we talked about this a minute ago.
My tablet right now is going wacko right now for some reason. Because it's Friday the 13th.
I think because you keep talking about the tech, and the tech is coming to get us. Now I'm starting to kind of freak out. Y'all are freaking me out.
Now I see it every once in a while.
You're seeing the lag?
I'm seeing the lag.
I don't know, dude. You've tried everything. At this point, I feel so bad because you have tried a bazillion things to try to make sure that we have good audio and good video, and it's the computer. The brand new computer that we just got. So, I don't know. We don't necessarily need a sugar daddy or a sugar mama or a sugar couple or somebody, but we need somebody like that if they could give us a bunch of money so that our stream could be better. If you know any rich people, tell them to hit us up with stuff.
So it just seems to be on your camera.
Oh, well, do I need to be really still again?
No?
I'll be really still because my moving makes things freak out.
Unless it's YouTube just stopping.
All right, well, let's talk about superstitions. Forget all this. If we lag, like, is it really bad?
My computer is going freaking out.
Well, is it your computer or is it the YouTube video?
I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know.
It's because we're talking
because
about
we're talking about it. You're freaking me out. Stop freaking me out. Like, I'm serious. Are you really? No, come on. Come on. Like, talk about the show. Stop. Vincent. Talk about the show. You're freaking me out.
So yeah. So we have all of those, but there's other stuff that happens in superstitions, like
don't step on the crack.
The Madden
your
curse.
mama's Mac. What?
Talking
what?
about the Madden curse.
What's that?
The game Madden.
Yeah,
Football.
No, I mean, I know who Madden. I like football, but I don't know.
It's when whoever gets the cover of the Madden football game usually gets injured or
They get injured.
Oh, but that's not a superstition. That's a curse. Like, is a superstition like?
It's
okay. Like, this is not a geek superstition, but this is a me superstition. So I have a Joe Montana jersey that I wear every time I watch football. And then, so like a few years ago, finally, the 49ers were coming back. Colin Kaepernick was like early on, and they were on their way to the Super Bowl. They were on their way. And the game was super close, and I told somebody, don't touch my jersey. Don't touch my jersey. And this one, he likes to go, you know what? I haven't seen a fumble where somebody runs the ball back 90 yards in a long time and then touches my jersey. Guess what happens?
I don't think I said 90 yards.
I don't know what you said, but you ruined my whole life. So I have a superstition, like, you can't be touching my stuff. And I know people wear, like, the same stinky socks and stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for their football team. But is there any, like, stinky socks or any weird thing that, like, I don't know that as a geek we do anything like that as far as, like, wearing the same clothes to certain events or, like, maybe, like lanyards. There are superstitions around lanyards that people wear to, like, different conventions and stuff.
Like, they'll wear the same lanyard every time. This is seriously freaking out here. Like, stuff is popping up and I'm not even touching it.
It's the ghost of the machine.
It is the ghost in the machine. It is. So, we have the Madden thing. So that was a big thing. I think it was like 16 people, 16 different players that got injured. So no, I guess nobody wants to be on the Madden cover anymore because they don't want to get hurt. So that's a superstition.
Yeah. I don't know how geeky that is. I mean, I guess it's with a video game.
It's a video game.
But yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. A lot of the things I think of as geeky are more like rituals and not necessarily superstitions. Like, because you were telling me the other day, you felt like it was a superstition that we can't, like, go watch a movie that's, like, in a series unless you've watched all the previous ones.
Previous series before you see the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it's, like, not going to be as good if you don't, like, watch them all.
Yeah, because you got to, like, support your series. You've got to support Star Wars.
So I wonder if people think that that's a superstition or if that's more like a ritual.
Well, we're talking about rituals too.
Oh,
that we do.
well,
Yeah. Superstitions and rituals.
Like, I wonder how many people actually sat around and watched all the Marvel movies before Endgame. That was a lot to rewatch. Like, it was a lot for me to try to watch the Star Wars. I fell asleep a couple of times. Because just trying to watch all of those movies was a lot.
Or even just the Avengers movies.
Yeah, that's a lot. But I know that's a thing for you, definitely. And I do know other geeks who are like that. Like, they definitely have to, like, watch all the movies before they can go see the newest one.
When we saw the last couple of, like, the big Star Wars movies.
I had to watch them all.
Watched them all. Like, the first one we did back to back until we went to go see the new movie.
Yep, we timed it out.
For episode 7.
Yep. Yeah, we did. So.
Steve says, true Marvel fans didn't have to binge on the movies because they watched them when they came out.
Well, and if you really liked him, you probably watched him several times. And knew all the lines to him, because that's a geek thing. And you know all the good lines, and you say them over and over again. Well, what about with comic books? So there's a lot of people with, like, comic books where, and I know some of this is because of the grading, right? To keep it, like, really good and pristine because they want it to be that sellable item or whatever. But, like, there are people that won't let anybody else, like, touch their comic books or mess up their comic book filing system. Like, if you want to read it, they're basically like, go to a library because you're not, like, looking at my comic book, you're not touching it or anything like that. Is that more like superstition, or is it more like trying to save your investment, or like what do you see that as?
It's a little of both, I think. I think it's got to be a little bit of both.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Because, like, well, I don't want you touching it before I get to read it all. You know?
Well, it's even like, I don't know how to explain it because I don't personally have it, but two of our sons do. Like, and they don't put things in like numerical order of the way like the comic series comes out. Like they put things together based on like the storyline or when certain characters came out, and so they like flip out if you touch it and like mess up the system because you're messing up like the flow of how it's supposed to go or whatever. It's like you're messing up the storyline, right? Just by moving the comic, and so it like freaks them out. And I've had other friends and stuff that are like that too, because they have certain comic boxes and it has certain things in it and it has it in a specific way, and you're not allowed to touch it, much less read it.
That's way too intense for me.
Yeah, it's super intense.
It's way too intense for me.
But I think it is intense. Like some people that have superstitions and rituals and stuff, it is kind of super intense. Like they feel like you get to a point where you feel like it's going to ruin something, right?
I mean, does it go back to your childhood when you didn't want people to play with your toys?
Like maybe. Or like maybe somebody played with something that was
you
yours
can't
and they
touch my
broke
Optimus
it.
Prime. It's my Optimus Prime.
Yeah, but you're
It's like,
selfish and
makes it
greedy though. That's
stronger.
that's not normal. That's like you're an only child, so you have only child problems.
He doesn't want lipstick on Optimus Prime, that's why.
Shut up, Stuart!
Don't kiss Optimus.
I love him. I can't help it. Hey, you know what? After we had that show, I
Black and
actually
Silver
saw an
Diamond
article that
says
came out.
Smash Brothers players are very superstitious.
Really? I hadn't heard about that. You should tell us a little bit more about that, Black and Silver Diamond, because I didn't know that.
Maybe like clothing that they wear, or they only wear a certain pair of underwear when they play.
That could be because they're just lazy and unhygienic.
That could be that too.
That's not a superstition.
Maybe we're confusing it with that.
Y'all are rude. Okay, it's not nice.
Well, like, but even when you like play games, even with like a controller, you want to play with your controller, because if you play with a different controller, you're not going to play as good.
Right. I've seen that too, actually. I have seen people have a fit about that too, actually. Come to think of it, I was like, yeah, that's a thing. I don't know. People have like weird ideas about stuff. What about the, I don't know if this is necessarily a geek thing or if it's a person thing, but what about the like bad stuff happens in threes? Especially for celebrities. Like, all of my geek friends, whenever some celebrity dies or whatever, then we're like, oh, two more are coming. And then when the second one comes, we're like, okay, one more's coming. And it always seems to happen that way. But it's like, we all think that that's going to happen, and then sure enough, it does. And then if you go past the three, then you're like, okay, well, now you got to get to six. It's like, got to be in like three. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, yeah, that's another one, Steve said. Got to blow on the Super NES cartridge 3 times before you can start playing, otherwise the game doesn't work.
Yeah, that's another one too.
McKenna says, I have them by alphabetical order, title, then chronological, numerical by issue number. I don't care if somebody reads, just either of it back or let me do it.
Oh, right. So yeah. See, I told you it has to be in that order.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
So give it back to me. I'll put it in the right order.
Give it back to me. I'll put it back. Like if they even
That's
let you
okay.
see it, yeah. You're like, give it back to me.
Don't take it out of the plastic.
Don't do it.
No. Or like some people buy one to keep and one to read.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they'll buy 2 comics.
That was only in the 90s when we were stupid. Nobody does that anymore.
Yeah, but now they have like 50 million covers now, and everybody wants to collect all of the covers.
That was
Well,
a 90s thing. And
Even,
should have learnt by now.
well, even though I did like the lenticular covers,
yeah.
were cool.
Well, nowadays, so much with electronic stuff, so you can keep your paper one in pristine condition, and then you just go read it electronically, and so then you don't have to worry about it so much. Have you ever like done something or thought that you would do something that like would cause one of your favorite characters to die off?
What do you mean?
Well, like
Like, if one of my characters died by dice I was using.
No, like
I don't use those dice anymore.
yeah, no, that definitely. That's a definite. No, but I mean like in a book you read or a comic book or in a TV series that you watch or like a movie or something that you watch. So I have this weird superstition. I have all these weird things. I'm a real weirdo, people, okay? Just so you know. No, I wasn't kissing Optimus Prime today. Okay, when I'm reading a book, because I really like to read books, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I get to the climax, I can't stop reading. Like, even if I have to read till like 1 or 2 a.m. until that climax is over, I can't stop reading at the climax or something bad is going to happen to one of the characters I really like. Like, the book's already pre-written. I logically, I know that that's, like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But I can't. Like, I can't put the book down. Like, I know for a fact that if I put it down in the climax, one of the characters I really liked is going to bite it.
Well, they're probably going to die anyway.
Well, you would think after reading enough George R.R. Martin, I would have learned. But yeah, no, I know. Logic tells me, but that's the thing about superstition, right? Logic tells you it doesn't matter what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you go to like stop yourself because logic tells you that doesn't make any sense. And then there's a part of your brain that goes, but maybe, just in case, I should probably do this thing, right? I mean, isn't that kind of how it is? Because logically, I know that my dice can't hear me telepathically. But just in case, because I feel like they can, I don't want to screw it up.
Well, they can, though. I do it all the time.
But logic.
But I literally do it all the time.
I realize you do, but logic says that doesn't work the way we think it works. Right? I mean, isn't that the point of superstition? Like, logically, you know, you don't need to blow on the cartridge 3 times. In fact, you're probably putting more spittle and dirt in there when blowing on it.
Yeah. Because when you're doing it, it's like not at all what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Exact opposite of what you're supposed to do.
And yet it works. Correct?
Does it? Or does it make it worse?
I don't know. It always seemed to work to me. I mean, doing these little rituals with the dice seems to work.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it seems like it works. So why would you stop doing it? Like, I guess I've never broken a mirror and had 7 years of bad luck, but I've never broken a mirror.
Yeah, no, I've never broken a mirror. McKenna says, my friend taught me they don't call them irrational fears because they make sense.
It's totally true, though. It is. It's crazy. But it's funny. Like, I never thought about it until we talked about, like, doing this show, right? And then I was like, oh, yeah, kind of stupid. But before, like, the movie, I have all these weird, like, thoughts and ideas, though. Like, before the movie Toy Story came out, I really believed that whole thing that our toys would, like, come alive, like, during the day when we were at school or at night when we were asleep. And, like,
when you were a kid, right?
Well, kind of. Okay, so I kind of feel like my toys have feelings, and like the Build-A-Bears and stuff, I feel like they're sad. Like not every day, but sometimes I feel like they're sad because we haven't loved them or told them anything nice lately, and so I come and tell them nice stuff.
Wow.
Optimus Prime is a favorite.
Don't listen, boys. I don't know. I have these weird beliefs, and I wonder if it's because I'm a geek and I like read too much, and my imagination is like overflowing.
I was actually Black and Silver Diamond says I'm very superstitious when I play Pokemon games. Is that something that you have a superstition when you play that? Because I stopped playing that years ago. Because I'm very superstitious.
No, you're not. You hated it because I got ahead of you.
Yeah, well, that too.
You're superstitious that I might beat you.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I was trying to think if I have any superstitions about Pokemon Go. I have weird superstitions about pretty much everything, so I'm surprised I don't have one about Pokemon Go. I don't know. I'd have to think about it and see if it's something that It's not like that at all, Stuart. There's more thought to it than that. Stuart went. That's not what you do. You have to go like.
Aaron says, "Hi guys. Hi Aaron. How's it going?"
Aaron. Superstitious about Pokemon. I don't know. I don't think so. I wonder if the boys do. The boys have weird, like...
Oh, here's a good one. McKenna says, when I buy trading cards, especially Magic the Gathering, I have to open at least one pack before I leave the store, or else.
Oh, that is a good one, because you know what our sons do? That reminds me. Our sons will not buy, ever, packs for themselves that they've picked out themselves.
It's like tarot cards.
Like, when I'm there, they make me pick. If they're there with each other, they'll pick for each other, but they won't pick for themselves.
Well, that's like you when you like buy the little hidden characters. You make me pick them out because...
Yes, because if you pick them out, you've jinxed yourself and you've picked the wrong one. But if somebody else picks it, then they inherently pick the one that you wanted. No, they picked the one you wanted. Come on, that's true. I got all of those things from the Disney store when I was by myself, and they all stunk. Not a single one of them was what I wanted. But the last 2 times you've picked something for me, it's been exactly what I wanted out of the series. It works!
But I just have the touch, though.
Nah, it works. I helped Nick. Nick got, I picked out 2 packs for Nick, and he was able to sell 2 cards out of that for more than he spent for both a whole box.
That's irrational, Colleen.
No, it's real. It's a thing. McKenna's right. It's a thing. It's a thing. No, it's a thing for real. Yeah. Yeah. See, I forget about some of these things that we do because I'm so used to doing them.
Well, just like I was mentioning, tarot cards is like tarot cards. You're not supposed to buy it for yourself. Is somebody supposed to gift it to you?
Somebody has to gift it to you.
In order for them to work.
Yeah. Well, it was like remember when your grandma gave me that plant, the Kalancho plant, and I told her thank you, and she said I had to take it back.
Yeah.
She said, take it back, the plant will die. Take it back. I was like, oh, weird. Okay, sorry. I hate this stupid plant. Take it away. No. But yeah, I think there's all kinds of like superstitions about things. And then when you're little, you're super susceptible to them, I think. Because like the whole step on your crack, you'll break your mama's back thing. Like when I was little, I was really careful about that. Like super careful. Somebody told me that and I was like, oh my God, that's terrible. Why would you do that?
Why would you be mean to your mom?
Don't be mean to your mama.
Cut it out.
Yeah, so you don't have any superstitions like about your favorite characters, like okay, like for Donatello.
Uh-huh.
So Donatello died not too recently in the comics, which it happens in the comics all the time, right? Characters die, they come back to life. It's a comic book thing, right?
It's a thing.
It's a trope.
Yeah.
So I knew he was going to come back. I was like pretty certain he was going to come back, and I was pretty certain that I was going to be really unhappy if he didn't come back, but I was like, he's a main character, why wouldn't he come back, right?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't read the series of comics that he died in until I knew the whole, like, that it was over. Like, I just kept buying them, and you can tell kind of on the cover, right?
Right.
And I just kept buying the ones in the series until he was back to being himself, and then I was like, oh, whew, he's safe. Now I can read them all. And then I read them all.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's weird. I think I have more superstitions than you. You're probably more level-headed than I am. I'm a little goofy.
Yeah, the majority of mine are dice-based.
Dice-based.
Apart from the rituals of, like, watching the movies, or... a lot of people, like, read the series of books again before the new one comes out.
Yeah.
That's another ritual that a lot of people do.
Well, and
like
I have
with
the
Harry
ritual
Potter
of reading
books.
the book before I watch the movie. But that's a thing just because I hate to have the actors, like, faces and stuff in my head when I read the book. I want to be able to imagine it for myself. So I don't want that movie. So I don't know that that's not really a superstition or a ritual for me per se. It just kind of ruins my reading experience.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
What about anything where, like, I know people have had rituals or superstitions about, like, if they said something or did something, they would cause, like, their favorite actor or whatever that played the character that they liked to like have an accident or die or whatever. You don't have anything like that, right? Like if we talk about a certain part of the movie, like if we make fun of Henry Cavill's CGI, that all of a sudden like the Superman is going to get canceled forever and nobody's ever going to make another horrible Superman movie. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just ribbing on Vince because he really likes Superman.
No, I don't think I have those.
Nothing like that?
Nothing like that.
Well, you're not a big reader, so I think a lot of my superstitions comes from reading. You know, I didn't say you didn't read at all. I just said you weren't a very big reader. I mean, I tried to buy you a young adult children's book of Star Wars, and you wouldn't even read that. But I didn't tell everybody that.
You just told them right now.
Oh, sorry.
So,
what about video games? Like getting through a certain like checkpoint or something? Do you ever feel like you have to do like a certain thing before you can turn it off, or you just get so like into it that you can't turn it off?
I think you just get so into it you can't turn it off, and you want to get to the next thing.
Yeah.
Get to the next thing. And get to the next thing.
So that's more of an addiction. So
That's more of an
addiction. rather than a ritual or a superstition.
Yeah.
There's a fine line between ritual, superstition, and addiction. Maybe we should consider that as we look around the room in our house. Maybe. Okay, what about having things that are not in sets? Right? Stuart, you've got to know that this is a thing, right? If you have something and it's a set of something, you have to have like the rest of the set, right?
Not anymore. It used to be like that.
Yeah.
It used to be if I was collecting something, I had to get everything in the set, even if I didn't like it.
Right.
And now I've changed. I'll pick stuff up if I like it. If it looks cool, I'll buy that. Yeah. I don't need the whole set. Thank goodness.
But I know a lot of geeky people who are completionists, and it's like that. Like people don't even like certain parts of the set, and they'll be like, "But I have to have the whole." Like obsessively, like I have to have the whole set. I have to have the whole set. And back in the day, we used to like look for it. It wasn't like you could get it on the internet like you can now, but you were out like looking for it. You were driving around to stores, like you obsessively, you had to have the whole set.
Yeah.
Or you didn't want to put it out. Like you can't put it out.
Here's one. Steve says, better save the game a bunch of times just to make sure it's saved. But that might be more of an OCD thing.
More of an OCD thing. But again, I think we're...
No, but even with that, it's like coming back to like me doing coding. I like, well, they better save. Like one of my keystrokes is Control S. So I automatically save it so I don't have to go file save. Boom. And I'm like, do that every once in a while I'm typing away. Oh, Control S, and I save it.
That's an OCD thing.
It's not an OCD thing. Well, when you lose some stuff because your computer shuts down.
Yeah. Well, so it's a ritual thing.
It's a ritual thing, yeah.
Yeah. So again, there's a fine line between ritual, OCD, addiction.
Sean says, I did the same with Unleash series of Star Wars. I had to have them all the time, and I do.
Yeah. It's like you have to have them.
Yeah.
We're that way for movies. Like, kind of obsessively, I'm always like checking our list of movies. Do we have everything in that series? Do we have everything in that series? Do we have the movie that led up to that series, that led up to that series, that did that? Like, I need them all. I need them all. So maybe what we're trying to say is being a geek is more about being obsessed with things instead of being
obsessed and neurotic. No.
Neurotic, obsessed, addicted. It's not so much superstition or ritual, but
it's a good thing.
I think we all do, and I think I like McKenna's point. Like, it's not called an irrational fear for nothing. Like, now that all of us are talking to inanimate objects and making sure that they're not going to kill us in the nighttime, and making sure nothing bad is going to happen to our favorite characters or our book series or our comic series or our movies. Like, it's interesting to see all the things that we all believe that go on or that we can do. Or
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that comes with our imagination, too. I think a lot of us that are geeks have that imagination.
Well, yeah, because we've seen stuff that is so out there, or read stuff, or seen movies, or because at an early age I used to read things.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding you.
And it was stuff that was so out there, sci-fi and fantasy and stuff like that, that it makes it real easy to believe things.
Yeah, I mean, we're willing to believe that somewhere out there are probably vampires, werewolves, you know, we talk to
Aliens.
ghosts, there's aliens. Like, we've played enough role-playing games, we've read enough things, it's in our imagination, it's in us, we believe it. You know, we believe that if we try hard enough, we have the force. So I think that lends itself to us having these superstitions and believing them even more maybe than other people might. So...
And if you haven't seen my Force video, please check out my Force video.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, Vince does think he can use the Force, so...
Well, because I can. And Yoda helps me. Check it out. So, yeah, no. I mean, we talked about superstitions. There's tons of superstitions. There's tons of geeky rituals that we do and geeky superstitions. And I think over the years there's going to be even more, because I don't think geek is going away, and I'm glad of it.
I'm proud of it.
Proud
baby.
of it. But thanks for checking us out. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And
We're trying to
click
get
on
to
that
1,000
alert
by
button.
the
We're trying
end
to
of
get
the
to
year.
1,000 by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So we're coming close. So check us out. I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen. Thanks a lot to Stuart. I can't talk.
It's Friday the 13th. Geek out, SA.